Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Shroodles and I like to make doodles. I definitely didn't already record this video and I definitely didn't have technological issues. I don't know where you got that idea from, but it definitely didn't happen. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. Yes, I did already record this video and yes, I did have some technical issues. But we're here now and we're ready to roll. So today's video is all about pokemoms. No, not that kind of pokemoms. This one. And low-key, I just think it's about time we get another single-stage Pokemon like Kangaskhan. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Kangaskhan kind of has a prehistoric vibe to it. And so I figured for the first Pokemon in today's video, I would do my first ever fossil Pokemon for this channel. This is Mom Tana, and the name is inspired in part by the state in which the real-life inspiration's fossils are often found. The Maiasaurus is quite literally known as the Good Mother Dinosaur, because it's believed that it brought food back to its infants who were too weak to walk. And since it's known as the Good Mother Dinosaur, it had to be in today's video. I felt like normal type was really appropriate for this fossil, and as you can see, I tried to keep the color palette kind of on theme as well. It's also depicted with two of its little babies, just the same as Kangaskhan has a baby in its pouch. And this was one of those shinies that I really let myself just have some fun with, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's really striking and definitely catches the eye. Mom Tana are diligent caretakers and make sure that their children are not only safe, but well fed. I just really like dinosaurs, and one of the best parts about being a fakemonartist is getting to learn new information about all kinds of cool things. And one of the best parts about making these challenge videos is that I get to challenge myself and practice new things that I can then take to better my own fan-made region, the Usana region. So all in all, I'd say I'm pretty happy with how this design turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. It is my first ever fossil, but I think I did pretty good. Oh yes, and before I forget to mention, fossil Pokemon wouldn't be a fossil Pokemon without a fossil. So here's the fossil for Mom Tana. I call it the Nest Fossil. The next Pokemon in today's video is definitely more fuzzy and cute, and I think is a great candidate for a fun mom Pokemon. This is Glider Rider, and honestly, this design, though pretty simple, was really tough to do. I think the posing is what I struggled the most with, for sure. Because this Pokemon is inspired by a sugar glider, I felt like normal flying type was the way to go. As I said, I really struggled with the posing on this one, and it's partially because I had found this really cute picture online of a sugar glider with a baby on its back as it was flying, and I just really wanted to pull a lot of my inspiration from that, but the angle was just not working for a Pokemon. One thing I will say I like about the design is the baby on top. I just really like the way it's hanging out up there, and I made the eye pattern look kinda like that of aviator goggles. Overall, I just think it's really cute. The colors for both the normal and the shiny are inspired by real-life sugar gliders, which I think really works because it fits perfectly into Pokemon's normal type color palette. The blue eyes and wing-like ears and eyelashes of the Pokemon were a way for me to kind of bring a little bit more of that flying type element into the design. And the thing I think that ties the design together the most is that sleepy expression. Really lets you know that she's tired from flying that baby around all day. Glider Rider are constantly on the move, and their high sugar diet keeps them going. I think I'm happy with this design, even if it isn't quite what I had originally pictured in my head. I think sugar gliders are adorable, and I love doing the research for this Pokemon. I got to see so many cute pictures and videos of cute little sugar gliders. Each Pokemon in today's video takes inspiration from a different kind of mom. We've had a nurturing mom and a mom on the go, so for the next Pokemon, I took inspiration from the suburban mom. So this is Suburby, and the name is a combination of suburbs, bird, and baby. For some reason, when it comes to thinking about a suburban mom, the first thing that comes to mind to me is nesting. Since, they're kind of known for putting a lot of attention into their homes. So of course, when I took the concept of a suburban mom and nesting, the Pokemon that came to mind was going to be a bird. And surprise, it's normal ground type. You might have expected it to be flying type on the fact that it's a bird, but because it's nesting and constantly in the nest with its babies, I decided normal ground type was better. This also gives me the opportunity to do a ground flying type male variant in the future. The bird I decided to take inspiration from is the Hammerkops. I did this because the female variant of the Hammerkops kinda has this mom hair vibe with the feathers on the top of its head. I think one of my favorite things about this design is the nest. I don't know, there's just something about it that has a real Pokemon-like quality to it. Hammerkops are typically a pretty drab brown color, and I think that translated really well into the normal ground typing for this Pokemon. And for the shiny, I just had to go pink. This was supposed to be a Mother's Day video after all, so of course I had to have at least one pink Pokemon. Suburbi never leave the nest and stay busy tidying up after their chicks. I feel like Suburbi has just shown me how much I've improved at bird-type Pokemon since starting this channel, and I feel a little inspired. Maybe I should do a bird-type Pokemon of every type challenge. I think it would be a great way to put my art skills to the test. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. While you're at it, why don't you hit that like button and subscribe for more Fakemon and chaos. This next Pokemon is for the mom that's rad. This is Pipparide. This Pokemon is inspired by the Pippa frog, and I'm not going to show it here. You cannot make me see that again. Let's just say I may have unlocked a new fear doing research for this Pokemon. But I think I did a pretty good job of taking this nightmare fuel of a frog and turning it into a pretty cool Pokemon. I think the main challenge with this design was taking the real-life concept of the Pippa frog and giving it a cool Pokemon twist, which is a fun way of saying I took some creative liberties. One of which was going with water poison type. The Pippa frog is not in fact poisonous in any way, but because I didn't want it to just be water type and I wanted to include some cool color pops in its design, I decided poison type was the way to go. Wonder where I got the idea from. I honestly love the color palette for this design. I just think it's a really cool looking frog. And yes, that means I had to make it a subtle shiny. You thought you could get through an entire video without me making at least one subtle shiny? Of course not. You know I have to make the shiny hunters work for it just a little bit. It makes it more special that way. Pipparide carry their tadpoles on their back and seem a little squished under the weight of their bubble. This was sort of my workaround for the real-life Pippa frog's adaptation. Though clever, definitely not something I'd like to spend my time staring at. I'm actually really happy with this design, and I think it looks really cool. So far, I've made Pokemon for pretty much every kind of mom, from the fur baby to the amphibomom. But what about the moms who like reptiles? Well, stay tuned, because this next one's for you. This is Pythmom, and they say save the best for last, and if I was being totally honest, this is probably my favorite design in today's video. I've really liked snakes ever since I was a kid, and when I was reminded that pythons will coil around their eggs, I just knew what I had to do. I really love this design. The posing is so gentle and serene, and the rendering has to be some of my best work. That lava looks amazing. And the shiny just has such an ethereal quality. Those snakes are another type of Pokemon that I don't draw a lot of. I think I really nailed this one. Because Pythmom is quite literally made of lava, I decided to go with fire ground type. Pythmom coil their bodies around their eggs. They are exceptionally gentle and protective mothers. And that's about it for our Pokemoms. I hope you liked the video, and you can let me know by hitting that like button. And don't forget to leave a comment letting me know which Pokemon was your favorite. If you aren't subscribed, you should be, so you don't miss out on more Fakemon and chaos. My battery's running pretty low, both technologically and literally, so that's about all for now. Until next time.